Hey everybody, this is Talyn and Phil, and we're talking on the 8-Bit podcast today about the COVID ref campaign that recently came out. So before we get into anything, I'll just give you a brief overview of what this campaign is. It's about the COVID ref who lost his reffing job due to the pandemic, and so now he's reffing the pandemic. So he's out there getting people to mask up and social distance. And this whole project is for St. Louis County in northern Minnesota.
Mom, why is Luke not coming to school today?
Well, since he tested positive for COVID, he's fine though. He still has to be quarantined.
The COVID ref, cool!
False start.
False start?
If someone in your household has COVID, everyone needs to quarantine for 14 days.
Looks like we're staying home, kiddo.
Friends, if you've been exposed to COVID, please stay home. Illegal formation.
What's the problem, COVID ref?
This year, not gathering is the new gathering.
Yep, this setup is just for our immediate household.
What about that spot?
That's for Grandma. She's joining us virtually this year.
There is no penalty. It's only halftime in this pandemic. Let's win this thing.
Hi, COVID ref.
Bonfire on Friday?
Sure. Who's coming?
Everybody!
Too many people on the field.
What the?
Hey, I'm the COVID ref. Let's find a safer party. Outdoors is great. Keep it small, require people to wear masks, social distance, and not attend if they have COVID symptoms.
That works.
Sounds fine to me.
Keep it safe, friends. Ain't no party like a COVID safe party, cause a COVID safe party is safe, yeah. Face mask.
Who are you?
I'm the COVID ref. Have you been living under a rock?
No, actually the boundary waters for about a year.
Put this on and I'll explain. And that's why we wear masks. My mask protects you and your mask protects me. The most effective way is to make sure you cover your nose and your chin and clean it frequently. Mask up, friends.
But yeah, Phil, will you give us a little insight to where this project started?
Yeah, back in the beginning of October, I think it was around October 7th, our client, St. Louis County, Dana at St. Louis County came to us and told us that they had some money to spend on some messaging from the CARES Act, which is money that needs to be spent to COVID education and messaging. And they asked us to come up with some ideas of what they could do with that money. And that's when we started concepting a couple different options for them. And that's when they picked the COVID ref.
Yeah, we were so thrilled about, because we had a few other options that we presented to Dana, but the COVID ref was definitely the one I think all of us were in love with and just were like, we really want to do this.
Mm-hmm. I think it was the most challenging.
Yeah, I definitely think we were like, this can be most challenging, but it just seemed to be the most fun, and people would understand it, but also not be bored by it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like anything out there about COVID right now.
Right. That was our main thing that we discussed internally, is there's a lot of doom and gloom about the COVID messaging, and there's a lot of, finger pointing and shaming, I guess, in a lot of messages that I've seen. So that's why we discussed internally about, can we do a lighthearted, maybe even humorous version of this messaging? And comedy has always terrified me on a local level. Trying to get people to act and be funny is, I think, extremely hard unless you have the right people.
Oh, and we lucked out.
I think we lucked out, but I think we chose wisely.
Yes, that too. It was a factor of both. Not like, because there's incredible actors in our area, but just with such a short time frame to find the perfect people in all the roles was really a stroke of luck.
Right, and like you said, that time frame. So it might not seem like a short time frame for some people, but we started, like I said, October 7th, and we wrapped up Friday, at least for the videos, and to pull all this together, get the correct approvals from our client, and to find the actors and find the locations and find the production company, write the scripts, do all this stuff, buy and find props. I think all of those were challenging things to do in that short amount of time.
Yeah. And, throw a pandemic on top of it, and a lot of these things that are a bit simpler in normal times had an extra layer of planning go into it. We shot at the UMD library and at the Whole Foods Co-op, and to do some of the things we wanted to do, we had to make sure we were in there when people weren't in there. So that meant, shooting at 5:30 in the morning before the library was open, or, at 10 at night when the co-op was closed, which huge thanks to both those organizations for allowing us in and working with our schedules and our needs to get this really important message out there.
Right. And to piggyback on that, the 3 of the shots we used had people in the scenes without masks on. And we were very hyper aware of practicing all social distancing and cleaning up and doing all those things. And we took it upon ourselves to make sure that we had all of the tools and supplies available to help with that too. We brought sanitizer and wipes and things like that. And I know when we ordered food, we had one person serving it, like the recommendations talk about. So it was definitely an added layer of a challenge for us.
Yeah. And then, what was it? Kevin, the actor in the Whole Foods Co-op, he got tested. He had a negative test, so we were super good there. And the mother and daughter, we made sure they were comfortable with whatever they were doing, and we were away from them, and they were in open air. So they, every situation was it was a two-way street of making sure everyone was comfortable and we were following the rules. It all worked out, which was great. It just took a little bit more planning than we're accustomed to.
I will add that the negative test that Kevin had was a precaution. It was beforehand. Yes. It was before we shot, just to set her, have everybody more comfortable with it. So
yep, exactly.
Because of the shot. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, and shoots are always work to put together, but just another challenge to this project, but obviously a very necessary one, and it all went well. So that was really good news. But yeah, just seeing how video production is during this time and seeing that it is possible, but you just got to be very cognizant of things and be safe.
And another added layer of a challenge, I would say as well, is things are constantly changing with recommendations from the Minnesota Department of Health and CDC. And so there was one spot, the library, that the governor had changed some recommendations about gatherings, which we kind of caught wind of that it might happen. So we were kind of generic in that spot. And then after the fact, we added some graphics to better illustrate.
I was going to say, I remember that because we were shooting at the Whole Foods Co-op that night. And the next morning we had the UMD shot, and I was just sitting in the corner, like rewriting scripts at like 9. And I was like, oh my gosh, which everything turned out. And we were, it always does, but it was very much like, okay, new rules, let's do this.
Yeah. And actually the garage shot with the vehicle, that also had a little rewrite during the shoot. So I think we all kind of panicked there for a second, but it all came together nicely.
Yeah, you guys like making me sweat. It's fine. It's part of my job. I just remember, so the cast was a mother and a daughter, and they were great, but one of the woman's other daughter was there doing homework off in the yard by herself, and I'm sitting in the driveway like, working on script edits, and she's giving me like ideas, and I was like, you were the best. Like,
Oh, that's great. I didn't know that part.
yeah, it was so funny. I was like, yeah, you've got a future in this. I like it.
Yeah.
So, getting creative. Anybody can chime in. Everybody helps.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah.
And I think for the most part, everything went without a hiccup. I think there was the one student in our UMD scene that may have set an alarm off in the library, but
That was my fault though, because I forgot that we were supposed to tell them. So
Oh,
sorry, UMD. That's my bad.
yeah. Luckily, we were done shooting, I think, at that point,
Yeah. So that was
wrapping up.
good.
So
Yeah. Speaking of another funny timing thing is, so when we were shooting outside the house, the garage scene, and it seemed like every 10 minutes a plane would go by. And then
yeah.
as we wrapped up the shoot, the Wednesday alarm went off. Like,
Oh, that's right. The tornado drill.
yep. And we were like,
alarm,
oh,
yeah.
we got so lucky. We didn't have to wait.
Yeah,
that
it was.
long.
We picked an extremely quiet neighborhood for the most part, but
Mhm.
yeah, the planes. There were some vehicles that kind of just hung around for a little bit, and some darn parents and kids that were trying to enjoy the sunny day that were giggling and laughing. Ugh, they're the worst.
So terrible. Oh, I know, because the weather was beautiful. That was another thing that just like life was shining in on us, because we got, what was it, 60, 65 and sunny in November.
A week after we had 6 inches of snow on the ground.
Yeah, classic Duluth, of course.
Yeah.
So, just those things that you can plan for, but you can't actually plan.
One of the things, with this tight time frame is, I forgot about this part till just now too, is we couldn't find any place locally that had football referee uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I went to the store and ended up buying some basketball referee stuff as kind of a backup plan. And then we found an online store that sold the whole outfit together, and we added a couple things to it. And luckily everything fit. So we were able to return the ref out, or the basketball outfit, and able to use the football one, that's the whole concept we wanted. So that was a good wrinkle.
It worked out. That does bring up one of our favorite topics, is our lead actor, Solomon Witherspoon, who is amazing in life and on screen, just like the nicest guy you'll ever meet, but also came to like just do his job, and he did it the best he could, and it was really fun to watch because he just lit up the screen.
Yeah, so I've known Solomon since high school, and he was immediately who I thought of when we created this concept. And when I mentioned it to one of our other clients at St. Louis County, Ryan, he knows Solomon as well, and agreed that yes, this would be the right fit. So I'm glad we got him. I actually brought the finished spots to his house to show him, and he told me, he said, wow, was that a learning experience? He said, when you think you can do something and you get in front of there and it's a lot harder than you think it is, that's what he said this was like for him. But he was so excited to learn and try new things and put himself out there. So he was really happy with the results too. So
Nice. Yeah, we had, for those of you who can't see it, but we had Phil record him watching it the first time, and he just was like grinning from ear to ear, which was really fun to see.
Yeah, his brother was there as well, and he said his brother's a tough critic, and for him to be laughing as hard as he was, he said that was a good thing. So,
oh, good.
I was also able to share the video of Kevin in our grocery store shot. I was able to share it with him and his family, and his wife and kids got a kick out of it too. So that was fun.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so everything seemed to come together. Before any of the shooting, we wrote scripts. We had them approved by the county. And they, not only had to go through like the marketing and communications directors, but it also had to be looked over by the people actually who are tracking the COVID prevention laws and stuff like that. So
public health, yeah, and human
thank
services.
you. Yeah, so once that all got passed, then we planned out all the shoots, got our actors. We even worked with the UMD theater department to get some of our actors for our UMD library shot. All of them were great and really easy to work with.
Agreed.
Yeah, and from there, yeah, we cast and then we shot.
Hmm.
And after that, it was editing. Oh, huge thing I haven't talked about is Danger Bird Productions.
Yes.
Who is the production crew we worked with, and they shot the whole thing. And I think all of us, this was our first time working with them, but I don't think it'll be our last because they were really, really awesome to work with.
Right. We'd admired their work that we've seen of their, some of the stuff we've seen. So yeah, that was another, scary thing for us, is using somebody new for the first time, during a big shoot like this. And I couldn't be more happy with the results. So, and, originally they were going to shoot it and we were going to edit it. And, as we were going, Mike, at Danger Bird was really excited about it and said, I really want to edit this. I really want to edit this. And there, he had some other commitments, and he made it work. He fit it in somehow and edited it for us. And, we had a few tweaks here and there, but not a whole lot. And, once we got it to where we were happy with it at Creative Arcade, we sent it along to the client, and really there was just the one edit about the new restrictions that the governor had put in place. That was the only change. So I don't know that that's ever happened in the history of a video shoot for us. So I don't know. It just speaks to the planning that we were able to put in, and the vision we had, and Danger Bird being able to help us with that vision. So
yeah, I was really impressed with the way they partnered with us, in the way that they, directed, but they also worked with us so that we both kind of got our opinion out there and could build this thing together.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we're hiring them, to do our vision, but I really respected that they're able to give us creative feedback and, hey, what if we did this, or here's another idea I thought of. And it wasn't just the angles and the shots and how we're going to shoot this. There was some dialogue, I think, too, that we had talked about in some of this, especially in the locker room scene, which we haven't talked about yet, but
yes,
that was a big part of this campaign. Is, we have the 4 television commercials that are airing, and then a big part of this was the locker room itself. We had Solomon just kind of we had some things for him to say.
This simple piece of cloth can do a huge amount of good if you wear it right. None of this below the nose or above the chin stuff, or whatever this is. It's to cover all those spit holes that could be harboring this nuisance of a virus.
But then we let him play a lot, and his personality and everything came out, and including his singing and his keyboard playing. So
yes, when he showed up with the keyboard, I was like, yes.
Yep.
Because doesn't he sing in one of our videos? He sings like, "I want to dance with somebody," right?
I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat. I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me.
That's in the locker room scene.
Yeah.
But he also sings in the library shot. So
Ain't no party like a COVID safe party, cause a COVID safe party is safe, yeah.
Oh yeah, duh. I wrote that. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And it was great. When we were doing it, and before we even had an actor at this point, when you were reading the script, I thought, this is great, but who the heck's gonna pull that off? And I'm glad he agreed to do this.
Oh, I still love that when we were doing the shot. So one of the things that the COVID ref sings is about having a COVID safe party. But in one of the shots, he said COVID party. And we had to be like, no. We can't. Yeah. We want a COVID safe party, not a COVID party. Opposite.
It sounded great.
Yeah, he sang it beautifully.
Yeah.
But, just the funny little things that happen. We all cracked up pretty hard at that.
Yeah, and we're still working on it. We're gonna add more video to the locker room section of the website, which is covidref.com. And I think we're gonna find some more fun clips to throw in there. And we're still working on some of the other materials that we're hoping that the client will get some funds for, to run some print ads and billboards and things. So get the message out even more.
Yeah. And I think another thing that was really cool for me to watch, because, I don't touch it as much, is watching you and Jeff design like the logo for this and the look and feel once we had gotten the videos done. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I honestly think it was kind of a reverse process of what we normally do. I think, normally we're doing some of the other things, like a print ad or a billboard or even a website and things like that, where we can get the look and feel of everything. And in this case, we started with the TV. So the TV doesn't have a lot of graphics in it, other than the logo at the end. And in one of the spots, we have a couple graphics that pop up. But so to go from the very minimal amount of graphics to, the rest of the campaign, it was actually more challenging than it typically is. So, but I'm happy with it. I like the way we're going with everything, and I think we all worked well as a team.
Yeah, it was awesome. Just everything turned out. The videos air today, which is November 17th.
Correct. Yeah, they start airing today, so hopefully people see them and they come to the website and play by the rules. That's the whole point of this campaign, right?
Yeah, and look out for my grandma, who's in one of them. She's awesome.
That's right. Let's talk about that for a second.
Hi,
so that was not in the script originally. That was a total let's take this as far as we can go during the when we were shooting. So we were shooting the gathering.
Illegal formation.
What's the problem, COVID ref?
This year, not gathering is the new gathering.
Video, which is all about this woman setting up a table, and the COVID ref comes in and he's like, hey, you've got too many people. And she's like, actually, this is just for this guest spot is actually for grandma, but we're talking to her over Zoom. And so they were like, I think we were just playing around with Danger Bird at this point, and they were like, my gosh, it'd be so funny if we actually had like a grandma on the screen at the end, like as the last shot. And we were like, oh my gosh, that'd be great. But first of all, COVID, so I'm not gonna like be running around to nursing homes and looking for grandmas to cast. And then I was like, wait, I Zoom my grandma every Tuesday, and she would totally be game for this. So yeah, one of these morning last week, I got her on Zoom and I just let her like play a little bit and say hi to the camera. And I think the final shot we went with was one of the end ones where she just kind of like, actually is like, hey, COVID ref, and like winks at the camera. Oh, it was cute. And so yeah.
You sent me the entire Zoom meeting, which was 6 or 7 minutes long, and I was cracking up when you were trying to explain to her what we were doing and what she needed to say, and she was all for it, but she's like, the COVID what? kind of like our grocery store scene. COVID what?
What? Yeah. Well, I think that was the one where my mom walked in and halfway through too.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
Yep.
Oh dear. Zoom life.
Yeah. So your grandma is forever a celebrity now.
Yeah. It's great. No, I will be showing them everything tonight at the family Zoom meeting. So
that's great.
That'll be fun. She'll get a kick out of that. But yeah, so that was a fun little thing to just get like family into it. But yeah, just everyone we cast did amazing. I mean, Jeff served up the pizza and was awesome at that. No, he was so good, just helping out with everything. And
I was very impressed going back to some of the talent we had with Lauren, our young actress.
Oh, yeah.
The COVID ref, cool.
She was in the car scene with her mom, and I know one of the reasons we chose them is because they have some theater experience and have done some stuff like this before. Maybe not TV, but she was a professional. Just the way she took direction and did exactly how everyone said, asked her to do things. She was fantastic. And I remember one point where we had talked to her about, well, maybe you're not smiling in this scene. She just had this big old smile on her face, and all of a sudden she went to whoop to nothing, like drop of a hat. And I was like, wow, she's good. But yeah, it was fun, and she cracked me up too. And when she saw the COVID ref, so
yes, cool. It's COVID ref, cool.
That's another thing in the script. When we were reading scripts and everything beforehand, it made me laugh every time we did it. And then when she did it, it was even funnier. So
just so nice when things all come to fruition.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole project kind of went off without a hitch. It's out now. You can go to covidref.com to see all the videos, plus the locker room videos, which are also just so much fun.
Yep.
So
a lot of the fun ones aren't on there yet, but I'm guessing by the time we get this podcast out, we should have a lot more fun ones on there.
There we go. Yeah. So
and the biggest thing is that the whole takeaway from this is to raise the awareness. I think people have COVID fatigue, and I think it's important, especially the way the numbers are going across the country and specifically in St. Louis County, that it's good to get this message out and play by the rules. And I'm hoping I hope COVID goes away really quickly, but I also would love to evolve this campaign and this character. So yeah, that's a weird thing to wish for, I guess. Maybe we could do a follow-up where he's actually reffing in the NFL instead of something, but
or maybe when the vaccine's available, he can be like talking about the vaccine.
Yeah, I like that idea.
So we'll see. But yeah, that about sums this project up. Once again, go to covidref.com to check it out. And yeah, share the videos. Spread the word.
Share the videos. So. Share all parts of this campaign when we get it.
Yeah.
Get it out there.
We'll get it up there. Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks for talking to me, Phil.
Thanks for letting me.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm going to say cut. Good work.